Morning, everybody, and welcome back to the HobbyDude 007 channel. I have picked up and had a number of people send me flyers for their upcoming shows, and I want to share those with you. So we're going to go over real quick 6 upcoming shows and contests in the southeast area, as well as some stash ads that I picked up yesterday. And oh my, some of them are a little rare, some of them are kind of really fun stuff, but I'll show you that in just a sec. Stick around. First up, guys, I don't have a flyer for this one, so I just went over to IPMS website and checked it out. And by the way, if you want to get a list of shows in your area, a good place to start is the IPMS, International Plastic Modeler Society USA's website. Just click on events. You can also click it by your state or your region and find shows in your area. But this one is the Fast Tracks IPMS Race City Fall Con 23. This is in Statesville, North Carolina. I have covered this show. I've been to this one, their spring show, the last 2 years, and have coverage of those. And the show this year was moved to the UAW 3520 gym there in Statesville. And man, there was plenty of room, tons of vendors. It's a great group of guys. Fast Track Hobbies does an awesome job putting this on. Mark your calendar for this one. Like I said, the spring shows are always filled with some great builds and some great vendors. There's your contact information. Feel free, of course, to pause and gather some info there, but there's your address for the event. If you're in the area, this is always a good one to hit. And again, hit IPMS's website for your state and region, that kind of stuff. Find out what kind of shows are going to be in your area. Okay, let's get this hook back up here, and we'll take a look at these others real quick. First up, my buddy John Larkin sent this. This is from the Appalachian State Modelers Association, and this is on October the 7th in Greenville, Tennessee. Look forward to going up. I've never been to this show, so look forward to it. Lots of categories, as you can see. You've got aircraft, armor, a lot of automotive categories. Then you've got your best of awards, your miscellaneous ships, display only. A lot of good stuff there. And here's your contact information down there. Give you a second to take a look at that. And as I understand, this is one really nice show, and it's continuing to grow too. And make plans if you're in the eastern Tennessee area or in western North Carolina, upper South Carolina, anything like that. Head on over, Virginia. Check them out. And of course, you've heard me mention this a number of times, and I'm going to mention it a couple more times. And I will hit on these shows again before they come up. But the Southern Nationals, the Acme Atlanta Car Modeling Enthusiasts annual show, and this is in a new location after 27 years. They're in a new location, much bigger. As I understand it, going to be a whole lot more vendors, which is exciting for me as always. There have been years in the past that I didn't have something finished in time, but I still went to the show just to do the shopping and to visit with my buddies. And there's guys from all over the country, and I know BG, and I don't know about Lucas E yet, but I know BG's going to be there, and I know my brother Clay Kemp's going to be there, Jay Savarese, all these great guys, great bunch of guys. Look forward to seeing them, excited about that. 3 themes again this year. You've got 100 years of Le Mans, 70th anniversary of Corvette, and NASCAR as your main themes this time. So this is always a good show, always a great show. So make your plans to head down to Cartersville, Georgia, north of Atlanta, and look to have some fun. Next up is the next week on November the 4th in Dallas, North Carolina, which is in Gastonia, just south of Charlotte. And this is the All Things Reese 2023 IPMS Region 12 Regional And this is hosted by, where'd it go? The Gaston County Model Builders and the Charlotte Scale Modelers. And here's your contact information. And your location, Gaston County Citizen Resource Center. And there's your address. And as it says, 83 contest categories, including 14 junior categories. Wow. That's actually awesome, though, because that's the future of the hobby. And next up, we get into 2024. If anything else comes up this year, I'll also add that in an upcoming video. But for 2024, this is the 17th Annual South Carolina Model Association's Hope It Don't Snow Show on January the 20th, 2024. This is at the Marriott Hotel Ballroom in downtown Spartanburg. So this is always a good show with tons of vendors as well. I think the theme this year, you've got automotive, military, ships, figures, planes, science fiction. Show theme is animals. So anything to do with animals. You see the Hellcat, the Firebird, the Tomcat, flying tigers. If it's a tiger tank, if there's anything to do with an animal, there's your theme right there. So, and that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. They always have some great junior awards and things like that too. But SCMA always, it doesn't matter if it's their upstate show, the winter show, this one, it doesn't matter if it's the Charleston show. These guys always put on a first class, and I think it's the only club that I'm aware of anyway that's a statewide organization. So they have chapters throughout the state of South Carolina. But an awesome bunch of guys, and I'm proud to be a member myself. Next up is February 17th. I've covered this show the last 2 years, and this is always awesome. It's not a contest. It's not a show. It's a swap meet, just a swap meet. And February 17th, it's again at the Salisbury Civic Center, and it is absolutely great. I have more fun visiting because there's no contest coverage or anything, so I have more time to visit with the vendors, laugh with them, do some interviews, and most of these vendors I've gotten to know over the years as friends. And of course, you know, we talked to Wes in the last couple of shows, and then Glenn Hurd with Hurd Hobbies, Robbie Meadows, just a bunch of just awesome guys. And if you want information, there you go. Get a hold of Alan and his contact info there. And this is always a pretty full gym when it comes to vendors. So those hard to find things or rare things or even new things, you're always going to find them here. And last, Dennis and the Boys, the MDA show. If you remember last year, I was privileged to tag along with Matthew of Model Car Videos up to the MDA show in Roanoke, Virginia. This is going to be on March the 2nd, 2024. And the theme is all things Shelby. So if it's Carroll Shelby, there you go. There's your main theme. So you've got the Mustangs and the Cobras and all of that kind of stuff. For more information, mdamodelcar.com. Be sure you check that out. And I think you can even print off one of these brochures, these flyers. There's your contest rules, categories, and another thing not to forget is we typically think of those Mustangs and Cobras when we think of Carroll Shelby, but don't forget the Dodge Charger. So make plans to hit this show. This one was packed with vendors too. And you notice I keep talking about vendors. I love vendors. There's always new stuff, whether it's aftermarket or old kits or new kits or whatever. I just love the vendors. Love visiting with them, laughing with them, and negotiating sometimes on the prices. And it's just fun. It really is. But each of these, and again, as they get closer, I'll probably be mentioning them again. I think I've been to all of them except for the Appalachian Scale Modelers Association's show, and I do look forward to that one. So, now, let me share with you, well, one more thing. I got a package in the mail that the person that sent it said you don't have to. Didn't say I couldn't. Just said no need for on-air thanks or anything. But let me tell you, John, I have to. I won't use your last name, but John is just, he's a subscriber and just he's been faithful in prayer and encouragement to Amanda and I through this that she's going through right now. He's been an awesome friend. But he sent me a package, and John, I can't tell you how much your very heartfelt letter to Amanda and I. Let me tell you, that touched us, and it just means the world to us. But I want to share with you what he sent, and it's something that, honestly, this particular, I have not seen this, and I don't know if anybody's ever seen these before. But this is a 3D super stand-ups, and check this out. $1. So these are older, but this one is a Richard Petty 3-dimensional stand-up. And it's kind of hard to see, but the car, you see the stand back here where it folds out, and it also came with a racing, die-cut racing card. But this, when you stand it up, the car pops out a little bit, and Richard, I think, comes up a little, and it's 3D. But that is cool, and like I said, I have not seen this. But I thought, when I first saw it, I thought it was a picture, and I thought, oh, that's going in a frame. And like I don't have enough framed pictures of Richard's stuff around here, but I thought, then I realized what it was, and I'm like, wow, this is cool. So John, thank you. Again, your letter was just, means the world to Amanda and I, it really does. But this is just cool. Also in there were these little packages, and these were also $1, and it's just 2 glossy photographs. And you have one of Mark's T-Bird and one of Mark Martin. And then one of my other favorite drivers, Handsome Harry. I remember meeting Harry at the Asheville Speedway in the pits when we were racing up there one time. Just an awesome guy. And this is, again, 2 glossy photo prints. And there he is with the Skull Bandit. And, of course, the car. But these are so cool. John, once again, my brother, thank you so much. Amanda and I do appreciate it. And I had to give you a little bit of a shout out there. Your letter again, and I know I keep mentioning that, but it does mean a lot, and so does your very generous gift. We just greatly appreciate it. Okay, guys, now let's get over to these cars. Bill Vaughn, a buddy of mine that lives locally here, was thinning out. I think anything he had 2s and 3s of, he was going to try to thin out some of his stash. And he sent me some pictures of what he had, and I went, oh, automatically, there's a few things that I've never had that I always thought about getting. Just, you know how you procrastinate. Well, I'm one of those. Sorry, guys, a little coffee there. So I scooped up some of these, and I'm going to save this Grand Prix to the end. But had to get another one of these. This is still factory sealed. And the old MPC Donnie Allison Mercury. I picked up one of these for a buddy not too long ago, and I went, oh, I got to have one of these if Bill's got one. So I scarfed up one of these, and I have something in mind for this, and it will be a Wood Brother, but well, that'll go on the build list anyway. But you know, these things are getting harder and harder to find too. Maybe they'll do a repop on it sometime. But anyway, so picked up another one of those. Also, the Sox and Martin Revell GTX 67 GTX. This is a cool car. And honestly, as big as I am into drag racing, I don't know why I didn't already have one of these things. But check out that Hemi. This is just a really cool car. I've seen a couple of these built at shows, and I keep thinking, oh, I got to get one. I got to get one. Well, now I have one. And again, Bill, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Next up was one that I kept procrastinating, and of course it's an STP, the Pro Stock, and this is one of those that again I put off. I kept going, oh, I got to get one of those, but I wanted it, but I wasn't in that big a hurry. I thought I'd always have time to get one. But you know, in the last few shows, I haven't even seen one of these things. But Bill had one, and he said, be sure to check it. And not for anything, but he threw a postcard in. So we've got the information about the car and the driver and all of that great info, and check that out. And Bill, by the way, has got one of the most extensive postcard and photograph collections, NASCAR, more than anything, that goes back way back. And some of the stories around some of the postcards that he's picked up are just great, just awesome stuff. But got that, check that out, molded in petty blue. But awesome stuff. Now these last two are both Pontiac Grand Prix. And you know I'm working on a 32nd scale Lumina right now. But this one is a little bigger than that. I'm going to back off here a little bit. This is the AMT, and if y'all remember, many of you do, this is a 1/16 scale Grand Prix, and they also did a Thunderbird. And this thing, I've picked up over the years a couple of build-ups that I was going to just refurbish, gut them, freeze them, break them up, and redo them. But here's one that's not even been touched. Check this thing out. A big old... Oh, you know what? Here, let me grab one of these 32nd scale tires, and we'll put them side by side. I figure if I'm gonna detail out a 32nd, I may as well put on my list of to-dos, whether I ever get it done or not, it's different. A 16th scale stock car. There's that massive body and chassis, and you see how the trunk is already cut open. So this is cool. And you know, I've never built one of these 16th scale, the AMT 16th scale. And gee, I wonder whose it could be if I do. But I don't think it would be the Nationwide, the Lake Speed car. But take a quick thumb through the specifically, I want to see the engine there. And, oh, check it out. The firing order on the heads and on the... well, that is cool. That's one of the things I do research. I was told at going to one of the first shows I went to back in the 86, I think it was. Somebody told me always try to get your firing order right. And I thought, why in the world would you do a firing order on a model car? And they said if it ever comes down to a tie, they'll check the firing order, which I don't know that I've ever seen that. But it made me think about it enough when I was young and new into it to do it. So research it and do it. That's just cool. And this last one is one that I always liked, the monogram kits. And while I did a lot of the MPC stock car series back in the 70s when they first came out, this was not one I had a great interest in. The Southern Stalkers, I think there was a Monte Carlo, and this one, because the stance just that I always saw on them was just funky. But I never really paid that much attention to the body on these things. Now notice how low that sits. And one day I saw one, I went, oh man, if I could just get my hands on one of those, I got an idea for it. And lo and behold, Bill had one. But this is the unique thing. Maybe I'll do a comparison on this coming up sometime. Check out these fenders. You see that great big blister? Get this out of the way there a minute. How the body line that goes right down through there just kind of disappears into that big old fat fender there, and the front are the same way. And I thought, now this would be perfect for one of those short track, local kind of things. And let's see where the back bumper is there. But I thought, now this would be cool. Yeah, there we go. But it's just so unusual to have that big old swelled up blister of a thing sticking out there. I think it's kind of cool though. And the way they had that set up in there. I just think this is awful. This is awesome. That's just kind of cool. They've just widened it out and blistered that out, and it's far different than the monogram, that's for sure. But I kind of like that. Like I said, for a local short track racer, I like this. I like this. So there's the 2 Grand Prix. That's the first thing, and I'm going to go through his stash pictures one more time. I got to see what else I can come up with, but hadn't seen this kit in a while either. Well, guys, that's it. Head over to HobbyNut Models, check out Mark's inventory, pick up some MCW paint. I'm getting ready to use some MCW paint on some stuff I'll be sharing with you coming up on the 32nd scale car. Supplies, whatever you need, go over and check him out, and you'll find the link in the description of this video. It'll be right up top. HobbyNut Models, click on that. When you do that, the channel gets some credit for that, so that helps the channel out again. So, and we really appreciate that, guys. I think that's it, dudes. We appreciate you. We love you. God bless, and we will see you in the next video. Hopefully I'll see you at some of these shows coming up. Thanks, guys.